down to the wire. Inter Miami played against Atlanta United in an intense match going down to the final minute.
Rugged for Rackets, the Miami Open makes its annual return at Hard Rock Stadium.
And rugby with a show, the Miami Sharks host a post-game celebration with music and candles. All of this and more on the sideline. Hello, South Florida, and welcome to the Sideline, the place where you get all the highlights for your South Florida teams. I'm Warren Okoye.
And I'm Valentina Gaspari, and the Sideline starts now. FIU baseball is off to a red-hot start this season, and Caplin is leading the charge at the plate.
Fred's early success earned him CUSA Hitter of the Week honors and put him on track for a big year. Sideline's Benjamin Cure has more on how his breakout season could lead to a shot at the next level.
FIU baseball is off to its best start in over a decade, and at the heart of that is redshirt senior Caplin. Between his accolades as the All-Conference Preseason USA outfielder and the Conference USA Hitter of the Week to start off the month of March, his power at the plate has been a driving force behind this team's success.
The season's going good. I'm playing great ball. It's fun to come here every day and compete and be around the boys.
With 6 home runs and 15 RBIs through the first 4 weeks of the season, Caplin is putting together a senior season to remember, one that could lead to a shot at the next level.
Yeah, I play just to play at that level, so everything I do here is for the next level. So it's always been something in my heart and something in my family's heart. And just to play good is good for my family and to just make that opportunity real.
Fred's combination of size, power, and work ethic caught the eye of FIU hitting coach Brian Geralman early on.
The body sticks out. You know, one of the first things you look at, like when you're evaluating players on the professional side as a scout, is does their body type fit in a professional uniform? And when you look at him, it just stands out among others. It's a man playing against boys almost, pretty much.
But for Fred, success isn't just about the game. It's about making his family proud.
It's been a pure joy and a blessing, you know, and an honor, you know, to be his mom and to watch him grow. And still playing to this day. I'm very proud of him.
With FIU's strong start to the 2025 season, Caplin's leadership is undeniable. And with the way he's playing right now, the sky truly is the limit for this young man. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Benjamin Cure.
Well, the football legend is back in the game. Lionel Messi made his second regular season appearance for Miami after being sidelined for 3 games. This is due to a muscle fatigue. Atlanta United started off strong with a goal in the 11th minute. But no fear, only Messi to the tie with the score moments later in the 20th. Atlanta's goalie Brad Guzan played an impressive game, despite his team losing when Miami's Fafa came in clutch to score a tie-breaking goal in the 89th minute. After a hard-fought game, the final score for this one, Atlanta United 1, Inter Miami 2.
Ouch, Panthers, this one's gotta hurt. Last night, the Ice Cats were cruising with a 2-0 lead until the Islanders flipped the script in the third period, scoring 4 straight goals, including 2 in just 17 seconds. Key players for Florida were Sam Reinhart, Alexander Barkov, who had an assist and goal each. But unfortunately, that couldn't hold off New York's late-game rally, leaving them to fall to 4-2, tough loss. But this team is built to bounce back, and they'll look to do just that on Thursday's night in Columbus.
A sold-out opening day tennis tournament outside the Grand Slams. You heard it here first. The Miami Open made its debut yesterday with women's qualifying matches at Hard Rock Stadium's outer courts. Fans who have already secured their admissions to opening day enjoyed the first round of the WTA qualifying matches, which began at 11 a.m. The Sunday activities also featured family-friendly entertainment, musical performances, and a 3 p.m. fashion show, which highlighted the exclusive merchandise from the Miami Open shop.
The Miami Heat are on a losing streak. The Miami Heat played against the Memphis Grizzlies, who led the game from start to finish. Grizzlies star Jaren Jackson Jr. had himself a great game as he went on to score 31 points, as well as Desmond Bane, who added 22 points, 10 rebounds, and 8 assists. The Heat would end up losing 91-125, making it their 7th straight loss. However, Miami is still in the race for the play-in spot as they currently sit in the 9th seed behind Orlando. Next, they'll travel to Madison Square Garden to take on the New York Knicks tonight at 7:30.
Hurricane damage to Tropicana Field has left the Tampa Bay Rays' future in St. Pete uncertain.
Fans are heartbroken, and the stadium deal is in limbo. Sideline's Nicolette Esper has more.
Only a few words could describe how Rays fans felt while not knowing the future of their team.
I mean, that's disappointing.
It's kind of heartbreaking, honestly. It's sad, right? Because it's part of the community, and where we go from here is going to be the real challenge.
The news sank in for Zachary Novo while sitting at Ferg's just steps away from Tropical Field.
I was very hoping that they would, build a new stadium.
It's really a shame to everybody who's puts in so much time.
Mark Ferguson, owner of Ferg's, had remained optimistic, but now feels the situation remains in limbo.
I thought for sure that they would go through with the deal, or they'll sell the team and somebody else will go through with the deal. So now we're kind of in limbo.
The deal also had its critics, including Ron Diner, who is part of the advocate group No Home Run.
This has always been about the fact that the city needs to do right with its resources. Baseball is nice, but baseball does not drive economic growth.
He argues the city should focus on other priorities.
I think this is the right thing for the city, it's the right thing for the county, and quite frankly, I think it's the right thing for the Rays because they'll be much better off if they could negotiate a deal in Tampa. It'll be much better for the entire region.
Still, fans are holding out hope that the Rays will find a way to stay in the city they call home.
We are a major league city because of the Rays, and we want to keep them here. We're going to do everything we can.
The future of the Rays in St. Pete is uncertain, leaving the question of what's next for the community. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Nicolette Esper.
Well, it's time for everyone's favorite segment of the show. We're talking about our W's and L's. I'll start us off. As a Formula One fan, that's going to be my W, specifically Lando Norris. You see how happy he is in that picture? He literally was so happy to win that trophy. Now, the weather conditions were really, really bad. We're talking about cloudy and rainy. That affected the whole race. Jack Doohan and Carlos Sainz were out in minutes. But Lando Norris, he won the first season opener of this game, which is a great start to his career. Although he almost lost it for a sec during the 44th lap, because of the rain, he quickly brought it back up. And he ended last season with 4 W's. He finished top 5th for 18 times and top 10th for 23 of those. He won last game of the last season in Abu Dhabi, and now he has Australian under his belt. I feel like this is his way of saying he's back into the season better than ever. He also won last year's Miami Grand Prix, which is quickly starting to come back here to Miami. So we're very excited about that. Let's see, Warren. Hopefully he wins this year for a second time. What is your W?
Okay, well, my W for this week is that the last season, the Miami Dolphins have been an average team, mostly because of late season injuries. However, with the start of NFL free agency, the Miami Dolphins have hit the ground running. To start this free agency off, the Miami Dolphins have signed quarterbacks Zach Wilson, James Daniels, Larry Borom, and Matt Dickerson, all in just the first day of free agency. Now these guys, there's 3 offensive linemen, and these guys can protect Tua from potentially getting another concussion.
Oh, we shall see about that when the season starts back up. Now we turn to our L's. I'll start us off. This one is coming straight from my heart. My L is coming to Atletico Madrid. Let's start with Champions Cup. They didn't do so well. They lost to Real Madrid on penalties, even though they won this game 1-0. The goal by Gallagher was made less than a minute into the game. Yeah, you heard that right. Less than a minute. But I want to point to Antoine Griezmann because he wasn't playing so well, Warren. He kept missing almost all his passes, which is a no-no for the team. Unfortunately, they're out of the Champions League. They reached the finals back in 74, 2014, and 2016, but they never won the Champions yet. Now let's turn to La Liga. They lost to Barcelona yesterday 4-2. Thanks to Julian Alvarez and Alexander Sorloth, they scored in the first half. Warren, I believe the first half, it was all Atletico. It was full power. But then unfortunately, it came to the second half when Barca, they said, stop it right there. We got this under our belt. We got from the 71st, 77th, 91st, and 97th of the game, Barca was goal, 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 goal. They came with power and determination, which I feel, Warren, is something Atletico lacked in that second half, which ultimately made their loss. Now they face Espanyol after the international break, and they face Barca once again for the Copa Rey on April 2nd. Now, Warren, what is your L?
Well, on March 13th, Duke Blue Devil star Cooper Flagg suffered an ankle injury late in the first half of the ACC tournament final against Georgia Tech. With just under 3 minutes left in the first half, Flagg skies for the rebound and lands on Baye Ondogo's foot. Flagg had to be taken to the locker room in a wheelchair at halftime and would later walk back to the bench on his own. However, he would not return to the game. Now, Valentina, ankle injuries are not as serious as ACL tears or Achilles snaps or even just a leg break. However, he is the NBA's top prospect, and I did read his body language after the fact, and he looked like he was in a lot of pain. Now, Duke said that he was going to be able to play in the tournament, but one thing to monitor is how he actually plays. Is his ankle injury going to affect him moving forward? Is he going to be the same Cooper Flagg that we all knew he is? We'd have to find out this week.
We'll see about that. But up next, we have a Sharks and a show. Miami's newest teams give its fans a post-game spectacular. Don't go anywhere. Sideline will take a timeout and return right after the break.
Really use a new tablet. I just don't have the money.
Let me ask you something. Do you have a Pell Grant?
Yes.
You do know you can get a free tablet, right?
Did you say free?
Yeah, free. It's simple. And the application is done in the store.
I could really use a tablet.
Get one. Another satisfied customer. Stop by Panther in the Graham Center at FIU MMC today to speak with one of our associates to get your free tablet.
Type 2 diabetes can have a big impact on your life. But how can it be prevented? Well, the first step is knowing if you have something called prediabetes. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Miami Sharks rugby had an unusual twist this past weekend.
That's right, Warren. They share the field with an orchestra. Sideline's Mia Florian has more on this one-night-only show.
The Miami Sharks are lighting up more than just the field tonight with a unique approach to bring more fans to the sport. In only their second season, the Miami Sharks have been driving rugby's growth in South Florida. And although the season has just started, they're quickly showing the fans, and not yet fans, their engaging ways to pull the public.
When like Miami Sharks or any team in general do like collaborations like this, it brings awareness to people, not only like rugby fans, but like people that are actually fans from, let's say, music.
Any crossover is good because I think people in America in general don't really know much about rugby, so it's good to get any kind of eyes on the Sharks.
The main priority for the Sharks is making an environment that gives reason to come back and stay, bringing the community an opportunity to connect and support their team while enjoying other shows.
And I think even outside of the sport, I think this environment is for everyone, and I think if we can do something else to bring more people here, this will bring people that are not familiar with the sport, and it'll get them into the sport eventually.
The rising excitement surrounding the Sharks is undeniable, so much so that even first-time fans are impressed by the energy of the game.
This is my first game ever. I know nothing about rugby. There was a good turnout today. Both sides, there was a lot of people. I was surprised at how many people were, honestly.
The Candlelight Show was just one of many collaborations to come for the Sharks, and it's safe to say the fans enjoyed the best of both worlds. Whether the fans came for a night of rugby or for the candlelight show, the Miami Sharks are definitely bringing the game to South Florida. For Caplin News, Mia Florian.
It is time now for this week's game picks.
We have Laura Iglesias on her picks of the week.
Good morning, guys. Let's begin with the first game. Tonight, the Miami Heat will go against the New York Knicks. Not having their best season, the Heat are currently in 9th place. In their last matchup against each other, the Knicks won by 4 points. Will this game finally be the Heat's chance to end their 7-game losing streak? Although we should never say never, I do think it's safe to say that the Knicks have my pick for tonight's game. From the Heat to the ice cold, let's talk about the Florida Panthers facing the Columbus Blue Jackets Thursday night. The Panthers had a rough weekend, losing to the Canadiens and Islanders, but they're still leading in the East. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets are also coming off of a 6-2 loss to Tampa, but with home ice advantage, I'm taking the Panthers. Switching now to the field with Inter Miami versus the Philadelphia Union. Inter Miami continues to impress. Despite star player Lionel Messi missing a few games, he returned just in time to secure the win, a 2-1 victory against Atlanta United, scoring his first MLS goal of the 2025 season. This match will be interesting to watch, especially with Philadelphia's recent loss to Nashville SC. Still giving their strong performance at home and the extra rest, I'm confident they'll achieve the 6th win. Well, that's all for now. I'm Laura Iglesias, and back to you guys in the studio.
Just a reminder that if you want to keep up with updates, fun segments, and more from our crew, you can follow our Instagram for all things Sideline. Follow us at sideline.caplin. And that's it today for today's sports show. I'm Valentina Gaspari.
And I'm Warren Okonyan, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next week on The Sideline.